What happens to our ideas once our minds have summoned them into existence? They rise up like balloons caught in a summer breeze.
The scale may be smaller, but the ambition is as big as ever. The Little Big Planet is now orbiting the PSP, bringing with it a menagerie of SAC people, a creative campaign, and the tools to design your own little masterpieces and disperse them across the internet. Has Sony Cambridge been able to bring the media molecule magic to the UMD?
Come in and make yourself at home.
Create your own levels, download other people's creations. That's what Little Big Planet is all about. But it's satisfying to know that a plethora of platforming paradises to jump, swing, race, and fly through are also included in the PSP version. There's a large amount of variety, with puzzles and engaging bosses acting as enjoyable road bumps. It pushes past the 5-hour mark with a variety of worlds and lots of replay incentive without feeling repetitive with all the daring leaps and charming chatter. You'll want to ferret out all the hidden items, the building blocks for your own levels, as well as hard-to-grab keys, which unlock mini-games that spotlight the versatility of what can be done on the tiny grand sphere, offering up inspiration for your own concoctions. When you're ready to create your own world, pop over to your very own moon and start building. Great tutorials voiced by the rather British Stephen Fry will get you on your way.
And unlike making a Hawker Hurricane 1:48 scale model, these instructions won't leave you pulling your hair out with glue-covered fingers.
Early attempts will undoubtedly lead to Daikatana tier disasters. It's hard work to be a game designer, but making your own tragedies is terrific fun, even if playing them isn't. The smaller screen will feel much more restrictive for those who've tried their hand with the bigger Little Big Planet, though the toolset is just as strong. Masterpieces and tragedies alike can be shared, peer-viewed, filtered, and most importantly, downloaded and played offline on the go, allowing for endless amounts of content. And while you can share your works and partake in others, multiplayer is off the table. Sackboy flies solo, so challenges that require 2 or more players are gone, which will stifle some creativity and put a damper on the madcap scores and slap attacks we saw on the PS3. The included levels are a real treat, and the possibility and promise of free content that could excel to that caliber is enticing. We saw it happen on the console. Your creative achievements will reflect your sweat equity, but the tools are more than ample. Little Big Planet is a simple game that takes its own laboratory nature into account. You're limited to grabbing things, donning an occasional jetpack, and of course, jumping like a birthday balloon that's almost, but not quite, devoid of helium. The lofty leaps allow for a nice safe margin of level creation, though getting the necessary momentum for nearby ledges can be off-putting due to acceleration feeling just a tiny bit off with the analog node. The D-pad is reserved for emoting, which, while adorable, is ultimately self-serving, along with dressing up, since no one can check out your playtime pantomime.
Gracious hellos, wild celebrations, sultry dances, and even cheeky little taunts are all part of Sackboy's repertoire.
While seemingly placed in the nirvana of the 2D plane, there are shallow backgrounds and foregrounds to venture around in. Though the game claims it will choose optimal paths, it's often a tiny war to get where you want to go, bumping into the scenery along the way. Like the hops, these are a concession for design, since the background is a natural place to put scenery, though interactions with it are seldom put to any meaningful use. Decorating a Sackboy is great for anyone who has ADD when it comes to fiddly character creators. Every piece of clothing or accessory offers immediate garish graphical satisfaction. The caveat is that most of the time Sackboy is tiny, muting the details until you beat a level and strut your stuff as the score is tallied. Music and sound effects are varied and usable for your own level designs, along with a ton of materials to create your own off-kilter set pieces. Occasional load stutter is unfortunate, though most of the time, the game keeps a solid pace. Not even counting user-created content, Little Big Planet is one of the strongest games on the platform this year, even with the minor control issues. Sure, the lack of multiplayer is disappointing, as is the fact that you have to leave the co-op burlap brain teasers on the PS3. But the biggest concern is the community. As of now, it pales in comparison to the quality and quantity that was available at its big brother's launch, seeded by the beta. Here's to the platform population growing exponentially, supplying tons of great content into perpetuity.